Well, the good news is ISIS has lost control of its stronghold of Raqqa. A spokesman for the U.S.-backed Syrian forces says the city had been the terrorist organization's de facto capital since 2014. It has been liberated with only about 100 ISIS fighters left hanging around town and some stadium, according to the U.S. military. The bad news, two of our closest allies on the ground, well, they're now battling each other as Iraqi national troops have moved into the Kurdish-controlled city of Kirkuk after Kurds in the north voted for independence from Iraq in September. So two of our friends in the region potentially starting a new war. Maybe it's time to sit this one out, fellas. Let me bring in former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, John Bolton. Welcome back to the show, Ambassador Bolton.
Glad to be with you.
As always, we may sit on different ends of the ideological spectrum, certainly with regards to foreign policy. But here, I agree with you. I think the State Department claiming neutrality in this issue as far as Kurdish independence is doing a great disservice to them. Why are we standing in the way of the Kurds having their own land?
Well, we shouldn't be. And in fact, I think it's important to understand that what the Kurds are facing, in effect, in this attack on Kirkuk and what may be an attack on their capital, Erbil, in the very near future, is not a civil war inside Iraq. This is the Iran-dominated government in Baghdad, along with their regular forces and Shia militia, attacking our allies, the Kurds. So the president just gave an important speech on Friday where he said, in addition to everything that was wrong with the Iran nuclear deal, we have to do more to stop Iran's support for terrorism and its general belligerency in the Middle East. And now we're seeing an example of it. Let's be clear that this attack on Kirkuk didn't come because the Kurds voted for independence.
Yeah.
As you just said, the ISIS capital of Raqqa has fallen. The caliphate is essentially finished. That's not to say ISIS is finished. Their terrorist activities will be conducted from elsewhere. But in the region, this allows the regular forces of the Iraqi government and the Shiite militia to turn away from dealing with ISIS and attack the Kurds. And that's exactly what's happened.
And the Kurds have been treated so horribly by so many different countries, including Turkey. And I don't know why we're still allied with Turkey, because they're awful going back to the Armenian genocide. They've been horrible to the Greeks, and they're ridiculously bad to the Turks. The Turks have been our most solid allies in this fight against ISIS. What should the United States be doing to support them, if anything, right now?
Well, and look, our work with the Kurds goes back to the first Persian Gulf War when Saddam Hussein drove them out of their homes, and we provided refuge and, in effect, created the safe haven that's come now to Kurdish independence. You know, number one, we were not paying attention. We didn't see this coming, although the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, the Quds Force, was in the Kirkuk area directing everything. We didn't do enough, and so now I think we're really on the back foot. I think I would give armor and artillery to the Kurds, but the Kurds have caused some of their own problems here by internal dissension. It's not a good situation.
They're split within their own factions,
exactly.
And they're a bunch of commie Kurds running around.
And that's even worse.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it would be helpful here for the United States to say, look, we believe the Kurds are entitled to independence. We're going to take what steps we can to help them. But we want everybody to know that if Iran continues to direct this offensive against the Kurds, not only will it be curtains for the Iran nuclear deal, but a lot of other things are even going to get worse for Iran.
Yeah.
I don't think Iran thinks we've got the spine to stand up to them. I think they can roll the Kurds up.
No, they're running a bunch of proxy wars right now in the Middle East. They're also, like Russia, looking for hegemony in that part of the world. I understand that, but
you're moving right along, Kennedy. You're moving right along.
I don't think that there should be. It's not our problem. We shouldn't be militarily intervening there. But it is an unholy storm and a very unappetizing soup that's only getting worse. Ambassador Bolton, thank you so much.
Thank you.